The Easter football period is just around the corner and it's a massive, monumental game for Millwall this Good Friday. Can Blackburn Rovers be the party poopers? We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today is all about Blackburn Rovers taking on Millwall over at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in a second. Because if you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're all here under one roosty. That's right. Millwall are the hot team right now, trying to get into those playoffs. Be that team that comes from nowhere and gate crashes the party. But can Blackburn Rovers, who still have an outside shot getting into those playoffs, be the party poopers this time around? We'll get into that, of course, and much more in a second. If you know where you've been, hit the old subscribe. You want to subscribe for Rovers, it is right here. And a big shout out to the members and the Patreons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, is preview the game, look forward to what's going in store, and then, of course, kick it on forward to my prediction at the end of the show. So sit tight, hold on. Let's get into it then and have a look at this. It is Rovers going home again. One of the, is it the second, penultimate home game. Take it on in for Millwall. So let's break it down for you. Now, these two sides have locked horns this coming Good Friday. It'll be the 22nd time they've played since 2012. Rovers winning 10 of them, Millwall winning 4 of them. And there's been 7 draws between the two sides. Rovers coming in 10th with 56 points, 4 points adrift of our lovely visitors, Millwall, who are 9th with 60 points. A win for us could close the door onto that 9th spot. Yeah, right now, tails are up a little bit for Rovers following on from that illustrious win last round against North London-ish, sort of Grey London, Middlesexian town that is Luton, with 10 men, up against Millwall side, who have won 3 on the bounce. Just 1 defeat in the last 5 and are cooking with gas. Now, of those 21 games, Rovers got 2-0 in our record. We've got 29 goals scored against Millwall, 1.38 goals a game on average, compared to Millwall, who have also a 2-0 win, that being their highest victory. 20 goals scored in those 21 games, 0.95 goals a game. Now, we haven't, it's been a long time since we won at Ewood Park, so we'll see if this time is now for that to change. Over the last few matches, both home and away, this is the last 6 matches. This is the last 6 at Ewood Park. Rovers come into this unbeaten against Millwall, 6 on the trot. They did draw last time around back in May, towards the back end of the season. Was that May? That was actually March. 1-1 draw. Michael Obafemi, former Dingle or current Dingle, Sam Smolish on the score sheet then. Roll back the years. I don't even know when last time Millwall picked up the victory, but if they're going to win, they're going to win now. If you roll it back last 10 meetings, it looks a little bit like this. Now, again, this is both home and away. Early in the campaign, Millwall did beat us at their own place 1-0. It was back in around about Christmas time on the 21st of December. That's their first win in 9. So it is an unfamiliar or unfortunate result or fixture for Millwall on the calendar. If you roll back even further than that, the last 37 matches look a little bit like this. Rovers winning 20, the Millwall just winning 6, and there's been 11 draws, and we have outscored them 57 to their 37. And that is, of course, over the last 37 matches. What about the current state of affairs for Blackburn Rovers and Millwall? Well, Rovers squad, it looks a little bit healthier on paper, with a valuation of around about 54 million euros compared to that of Millwall, around about 40 million euros. We average a player is around about 2 million euros to their 1.2 million. Our squad's much older than theirs. We have more national team players. They have more youth national team players, and they have just 1 more foreigner than we do. Let's take a look then at the microscope. Under the microscope, the managers, starting with Big Val, 49 years of age, 6 years senior to that man in the opposition dugout, and that will be Alex Neil. Now, success rate for Val and Ishmael is now 1.68. It was 1.69, so the Roversness is affecting his high tally of his success rate. His record against Millwall is okay, just picking up around about 1 point per match over the course of 5 matches. He's won 1, he's lost 2, and he's drawn 2. His record against Alex Neil is 50-50 as well. He's won 1 and he's lost 1. As for Alex Neil's record against Rovers, he's managed against us 10 times. He's won 7 of them, lost just 2, and picked up 1 draw. So he's got a good points per match ratio against Rovers. So it's not going to be good in regards to Rovers on that one. Let's kick on forward then, shall we? Look at the key players, or the most valuable players, should we say. Tyree Stolen still, of course, that will change next year with, I'm sure, him leaving. He has been one of our better players of the last 3 or 4 games as we went through this bit of a rut. On the opposite side there, the most valuable player is Ryan Wintle. I don't know how believable that is, but proof is in the pudding, and we'll see. I don't know if he's even featuring in this match, or at least the recent run of games, but we'll see. These are the squads then, shall we? Take a look at Rovers. Blasterstoff could remain in between the sticks, is my understanding. We might see a change at left back, a question mark about right back, because Britain is edging closer. Costello could feature, and young Christy Montgomery is suspended, so he will not be featuring on this one. But maybe some other youngsters will get a chance. We'll see about that. Into midfield, the likes of, it could be experimental time period of the season for some folks here. Maybe John Buckley's, maybe your Adam Forshaw's will get more minutes. Maybe up top you might see what Coley Woodrow, see what he can throw into it. He's now returned or available for selection, as the decisions need to be made on who's going to be staying, who's going to be going into the next season. But this is my lineup. I'm going with the toss between sticks. Frankie Costello at right back. We've got Pickering coming in at left back, Dom Hyam and Danny Bart. We have Tronstad, Travis in the mid, Dolan, Cantwell, Hedges and Ohashi. It's pretty much as you were for the midfield moving forward. It's still mathematically possible, and I probably wouldn't write us off completely just yet. I think after this game, we'll have an indication of whether there is a little bit of gasoline left in the tank, or we can definitely write off the next game against Sunderland. So, but right now, it should be all about being proud to wear the shirt, putting on a good performance, solid performances in the last 4 games of the season, and see how many points we can get, and see how much momentum we can get into the tank heading into what will be a crazy, interesting off-season. With the proof maybe in the pudding, and we get a brand new look Rovers next season. Well, we'll see. Will it be a good-looking side? Not one about with a face. I'm about on the pitch. It's a team that plays attacking, attractive football that gets us off the seats. Because if there is an opportunity to get a new team in here, or 10 players going out and replacing them, they have to be. If they're going to want to get the fans back in, they have to be players that get you off the seat. Tony Mowbray said it way back when he brought Bradley Dack in. He's a player that will get you off your feet, a player that's got creative juices from his veins, and hopefully we'll be able to build that with a clean slate. So we'll see about that. As for our position, let's take a look at their squad here. Coming at you right now, of course, the goalkeeper will probably be Lucas Jensen in between the sticks. At the back there, they've got the likes of Tanganga's not featured, but Jake Cooper's been phenomenal at the back. Ryan Leonard has also been in good company. In fact, they've been very, very good, haven't they? Millwall have been a very surprising side. Joe O'Brien at left back, good pickup when you look about it. That's a good signing. It's a solid championship level signing when you look at it, and that's what Millwall have done. They've managed to pick up bargains along the way, and also added a bit of youth, and also a bit of foreign flair moving forward into the midfield. Like Luke Kundal's a solid pickup as well. Billy Mitchell, not the one from EastEnders, but this one. He's a key player. And up top, they've got some Milano Ivanovic, who's scoring goals. They've got some youngsters in there. They've got Macaulay Longstaff, who's one of the best of seasons. Duncan Watman's always a threat. I just don't know how fit and raring to go he is. So a good blueprint to be successful. They always go under the radar. And more often than over the seasons, they've been known as more of a team that's going to struggle. And I think I did pick them as one to struggle. But look at it. This is the lineup right here. We've got Jensen between six. We've got Leonard at right back. We've got Kramer, Cooper alongside Bryan. Solid back four there. We've got Honeyman on the right-hand side. Imanku on the left. In the middle, we've got Denorium and Billy Mitchell. Ivanovic scoring goals right now for fun. And Kundal. The Eastern European market is definitely flooded with talent. And that guy's a bit of a pickup as well. Let's take a look at the key players then, shall we, for both sides. The main man on the pitch is Joe Bryan on the left-hand side, 7.22 on average. The next best player is Jake Cooper. Then up steps Callum Britton, who we've missed in the last few games. And hopefully he is back for this one. And hopefully I can slot him in there at right back. We'll see about that. But alongside them, Danny Bart and Dom Hyam to make up a defensive trio. Todd Cantwell has been playing a little bit better, but all in all, it's kind of fallen off the face of a cliff of late. As for the stats then on paper, both rocking around about 6.89 on average. Rovers just edge it and ranked 9th of the 24. Millwall are 10th. We've scored 45 goals to their 41. We have conceded 45 goals to their 41 as well, averaging 1.1 goals a game for Rovers compared to 1 goal a game for Millwall. Meanwhile, move forward, possession-wise, we are a little bit more possession-based team than Millwall, 49% compared to their 42. They have more clean sheets than we do. We have more red cards than they do. We have now got 4 following on from Christy Montgomery's red card last time around. Possession, or sorry, duels, pretty even as well on the on average, or on the per game, 50.2%. Equal there. They're slightly better on the ground. We're slightly better in the air. Speaking of that, let's take a look at, of course, where the possession is split here across the pitch. Rovers, when in possession, are very much even. Stevens down the left and the right-hand side. And again, more often than not, 32% of the time in the defensive third. Again, once we come back next season with this front foot football, when we see that graphic, it should be heavily in favour of the opposition third. We should be on the front foot in the opposition third. That should be what's happening next season. This is Eustace ball. It's been embedded into the season. It's very hard to wash off right now or change with limited games to play. So yeah, I expect that next season. Let's take a look at that Millwall down the bottom there. They, of course, prefer the right-hand side to the left. They are on the front foot 30% of the time in the opposition third. Let's take a look then, shall we, at the shots grid, should we say. Rovers prefer to shoot from the right than the left, and 60% in the 18-yard area. As for Millwall, they're pretty even down the left and the right, and similar stats, 60% down the middle as well. As for shots received, Rovers are more often getting shots from the left to the right. And again, 36% of the outside of the box. As for Millwall, they coming more often than not. Shots are coming down the the right-hand side there, 19% of the time, and then 30% long range. Bad boys. As for the goals, Rovers are scoring 29 through open play, 7 set pieces, 5 counter-attacks, 3 penalties, and 1 own goal. Conceded 12 sloppy goals from set pieces, 29 from open play, 3 penalties and 1 counter-attack. Millwall's goals coming through open play and set pieces, quite a high number there, 14 set pieces, 3 counter-attacks, 2 penalties. And as for goals conceded, 23 through open play, 12 through set pieces, 4 own goals, 1 penalty and 1 counter-attack. So those are the goals and how they are conceded. What about the run-in here then, shall we? Of course, the last few games for Rovers. After this game, we take on Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Hopefully, they're already on the beach or preparing for the playoffs. A lot of players may be rested. Who knows? And then Rovers take on Watford in the Van Richmond Derby at Ewood. That's the final home game, and then Sheffield United at the end. What would you say for points tally on this one? You probably would say 7 or more. If you're a bit of a greedy bastard, that probably would be that. But of course, all eyes should be on this game, which is Millwall. As for Millwall, if their playoff dreams are to continue, they have a pretty sticky passage. Depends on what goes on at Ewood Park, because Burnley, it depends on what goes on between Burnley, Sheffield United and Leeds. If it goes down to the wire, then that game could be monumental at Turd Moor. You probably write that one off. Norwich at home is also going to be sticky. Swansea at home should be a win for the Lions at the Den then, shall we? Meanwhile, let's take a look then at the form. Is still pretty shit for Rovers, the worst team on paper in the last 6, losing 4 of the last 6 games, but back-to-back wins up against Millwall, who are on a 3 games winning streak, just 1 defeat in the last 4, and when you break it down here, Rovers home form, winless in the last 4 matches at Ewood Park, compared to Millwall's away form, 2 wins out of the last 4 games. Doesn't look good on paper either, brother. Meanwhile, what else we got going on? This is, of course, what we can expect from the game then, shall we? Rovers are very good at protecting the lead, attacking down the wings, counter-attack, stealing the ball from the opposition, aerial duels. Meanwhile, their weakness is avoiding offside, avoiding fouling in dangerous areas, and defending set pieces. Style of play, though, is attacking or playing in our own half with a lot of through balls, and can be quite aggressive. As for our visitors, their strengths are set pieces, stealing the ball from the opposition, creating scoring chances and aerial duels. Their weaknesses, though, finishing scoring chances, avoiding offside and keeping possession of the ball. Their style of play is long balls. They're across a lot of the time, play out wide, control the game in the opposition half. They come down the right-hand side and they do take a lot of shots. The forecast says Rovers will steal the ball from the opposition. Millwall, though, will score from a set piece, and Millwall will control the game in the opposition half. So that is what we can expect. So, of course, that is that. The table, though, looks a little bit like this, just to showcase you where we are. Rovers in 10th. We can't go up much more than 10th this season. It's all about maintaining top 10, because otherwise we could be as low as 14th at the end of this match. Millwall, though, their win for them, they could go up as high as 6th. If that's correct, depending on what goes on elsewhere. So they could be in the playoffs at the end of this match. We'll see about that. Kicking on forward, the trajectory, though, is good for Millwall's on the way up. They're surging up there. Rovers are on the way down. Of course, the green, as you can see, as the two sides cross last week. Rovers were forever in the playoffs until this back end of the season. So pretty grim stuff on black and white paper for you here and now. What else can we expect this weekend? Well, I might do the watch along between Derby and Luton Town. It might be, I think everyone probably will do it, of course. So then it's Rovers taking on Millwall. All eyes on that at Ewood Park. Definitely doing the watch along on that one. Stoke against Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich against Portsmouth. Swansea, Hull. We have Bristol City against Sunderland, Watford, Burnley, Middlesbrough, Plymouth, Coventry, West Brom, Preston, QPR. We have Sheffield United, Cardiff, and Oxford against Leeds United. That is, of course, what's going on this coming Good Friday. Of course, the rest is not to be taken light of, because 2 or 3 days later we are back in at it up against Sunderland. So what is my prediction for it? Well, take a little look. This is my gut feeling here. Rovers definitely better in the last game against Luton Town, a team that were desperate for points. If we turn the clock back just 12 months, that was us. We were Luton Town then. I think if you turn the clock back even further, where Millwall kind of tried to do the dirty on us on the last couple of games of the season, and we came back and we went at 4-3. So maybe we owe that. I think we did win that game, but Millwall are flying high. Don't get me wrong, at the end of the season, I would love to see either Millwall or Bristol City get into those playoffs if we can't, and of course go far. But realistically, there's still a little bit, we are running on fumes on this for the season. A win here and maybe a little bit of luck going elsewhere. Maybe we can reevaluate the end of the season position. So I am going to give it to my boys here. That's right. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Rovers. Of course, a little bit nervous with Blasov between the sticks, but I think Ohashi is on fire right now. 2 for 2. He's looking for 3 for 3. He might even get a brace in this one, or maybe we'll get something like a penalty or a Tyrese Dolan-esque goal, maybe one of his last in blue and white half. So I'm going with a 2-1 win. Rovers sneaking it, taking all 3 points, putting a bit of a rat's nest in Millwall's dreams for those playoffs, and maybe just giving Rovers a little bit of hope as the season comes to an end. And of course, maybe a bit of fuel in the tank for Val and Ishmael as the season comes to an end, and maybe just the greatest platform for next season. There's, of course, the optimist in me, but that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, I'll see you soon, very, very soon, as we look forward to Sunderland. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. Until then, we're done.